You found out your home is worth $250,000. That's great. But if you were to sell that right now, how much of that would you actually see? There's a lot of costs that come when selling your home. So today I'm going to break down all the costs that come from the seller when you sell your home, plus an estimate of how much you can expect to pay for those costs in this video. So the first thing is obviously the balance that's left on your mortgage. So when you bought your home, you've been paying down on it a little bit, and you should have a balance of how much you have left to pay. Now, when you pay your monthly bill every month, it should tell you on there how much is your balance that's left on the mortgage. And then at the end of the year, they'll give you a big summary that tells you exactly how much you've paid in interest, plus how much you paid on the principal and how much you have left. That'll give you an idea of how much money you'll actually walk away with when you sell it. However, a second thing that you need to think on top of this is there will be an extra payment due. So remember whenever you... No, hold on. I know what you're thinking. I've got $102,000 left on my home. So why would there be an extra $1,200 that I owe? Let's jump into our time machine real fast and take a look. There we are. We just got our house and we're learning that we can stay for free for a whole month. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is we do not have to pay this month. Little did I know we were gonna have to pay that back when we sold this house. So remember that time way back when you bought your home and they told you, hey, you don't have to pay your first payment right now. You get a whole month free, basically. That was great because you had to put down deposits on your utilities. You had extra expenses for the moving costs. That really helped you not have that payment right away. However, now you got to go back and you got to pay that. So when you're paying your mortgage, you are paying for last month. So it's not a month ahead, you're paying for the month behind. So if you sell your home today, you've still got to pay last month's mortgage. So people don't think about that. They look at that main balance and what's left on that principal, and they forget to add in that extra payment they're going to have to pay on top of that. So that can really make a difference. Another thing you will have to pay are your prorated taxes. So let's say that you sold your home March the 1st. You would owe taxes for January and February. So there's a way that you can calculate this because the buyer is going to pay those at the end of the year. So what you can do is you calculate how many days are in all the months you've lived in your home. In this case, there's 59 days. Depending on what year we're in, but we're going to say 59. So there's 59 days. So what you do is you take the amount that your taxes are over the whole entire year. So let's say your tax every year is $1,500. At $1,500, you're going to divide that by 365, so you'll see how much they are per day. Then you're going to take that amount and you're going to multiply it by 59, which is the number of days that you have lived in your home. Voila. That is the amount of money that you owe for your share of taxes while you've been there, and that will be taken out in settlement at closing. Next would be commissions. So unless you decide to do the for sale by owner route, there will be some kind of commissions. Now there's no set commission rate. I have seen all kinds. I've seen it from flat rate where you just pay like $200 and they put it on the MLS for you and then you handle everything else, to where I've seen it go all the way to some exclusive listings. Typically you're going to see around 5 to 6%, but in some luxury cases where you're getting more, you may pay a little bit more than that. But this is what you're going to have to calculate in because it is the amount of the sales price. So that's something to think about. So if you offer to go up on that sales price and cover some closing costs, that's going to cost you a little bit more in commissions. So make sure you pay attention to that. The good news is that this is not an upfront cost unless you do the flat fee brokerage. It can be kind of fat sometimes. But unless you do that, you don't have to pay it up front. So that's the good thing. It is paid at the end. So if they don't do the job for you and they don't get you that money that you want, you haven't paid anything. They're the ones that put in this time and money to get your house ready for the market. Now, I will warn you, some brokerages do charge a transaction fee. I honestly don't know what this is for because my brokerage does not. We get commission, that's it. But they do try to charge in there an extra transaction fee. I don't know, like $250, $500. I don't really know because, like I said, we don't do it. But they charge it that to handle the paperwork for you. So make sure you ask your real estate agent about this because you don't want to get swindled even a little bit of money. That's not okay. Now, one fee that you will pay at closing is the post-closing, the release to the attorney fee. This is the fee they charge for preparing the deed, the documentation, releasing all that to you. I have never seen an attorney not charge this. There may be some that do, but I haven't seen it. It typically costs you around $75 to $100. But how much does attorneys get in their closing costs? They shouldn't even be charging this fee, but you know, whatever. Some attorneys will also charge you a wire fee. Now this is literally a fee just to wire your money to wherever you want it to. This can range anywhere from like $30 to $50 depending on. A way you can skip this is if you just get a live check. So the lawyer can cut you a live check there, you take it and deposit it in your bank. The only issue with this is if you're buying a house and you need those funds right then, a live check is not going to work. They won't have the money released in time, and then you're going to have to pay the wire fee to get it sent to the next closing attorney or your bank or wherever you need those funds for. But that's a way to kind of get out of it to keep from paying the wire fee. But most people charge a wire fee, like your banks do, lawyers, so it's just kind of one of those things for convenience. You know, who wants convenience, right? We're not a country that's into convenience, right? I think most of us pay the money to have the money right then. If you live in an HOA, you will more than likely have to pay an HOA transfer fee. So what this does, it transfers the HOA membership to the new people. It varies on the price on this. It really does. It depends on your subdivision. It depends on the cost of it. But if you go look at your HOA paperwork, this can be found when you first bought your home. They may send you an annual summary of it. You can see what those costs are and how to get that taken care of. Okay, something else you need to take into consideration. Anything that is negotiated in that contract is something else you're going to have to pay for. Now, not all of these may come out at closing, so some of them actually won't let you. They make you pay for it right then if you're going to have the repairs done, but some of them will let it be taken out at closing. So a lot of your buyers are going to want a pest inspection. So this is just where they come in, especially here in Georgia with this wet weather. We want a termite clear letter. So you pay the company to come out. If they have to do treatment, that's going to run you, closer to the $500 to $1,000, depending on what that is. They'll come in, they can give you the letter just for like $50 sometimes, but the treatment can be more. So they'll take that out. Sometimes the buyers want a home warranty. So if they came in and y'all negotiated repairs, but maybe you opted for a home warranty instead of some repairs, there are various levels of this. The cheapest one that's just like even okay that I've seen is about $500, but it can go all the way up to $750, $1,000 on that. And that's something that definitely can be taken out at closing. And then also if they want a septic letter. So a lot of times if you're on a septic system, they want the letter that the septic is okay. These can kind of vary, but I would look at about $200 to $300 if it's good and they don't have to pump it or do anything crazy like that. So just keep that in mind. Depending on the repairs, depending on what kind of shape your home is in, you can really add up some of those costs because the buyer could want a lot of things fixed. Now, if you're out of town or you will not be able to make it to the closing, you can also pay to have them send you what we call a mail away package. They send the package or get a mobile notary to go take care of it. It typically costs around $150, but it's very convenient for those that are out of town or can't be there, or maybe they're sick or their loved ones are in the hospital or something. They can still get it taken care of and not have to delay closing. Another fee that attorneys sometimes have is a technological, I don't even know what that is, a technology fee. It typically costs around $30 to $50. I really don't even know what this is for, but I see it on most of my closings. I guess the cost of their internet or to send emails back and forth. I don't know, but just be prepared. You could see that fee come up on your closing statement. Something else I want you to think about. If you have not lived in your home for 2 out of the past 5 years, you could be liable for capital gains taxes. Now, you don't pay capital gains on the entire amount, but you would pay it on the profit that you made. So if you use our first example and you sell the home for $250, you only have $102 left on it, then what, $148? Oh gosh, don't make me do math. I think it's $148. Yeah, it is. Okay, $148. That was quick. I did that on the spot, like on the fly. Did that really fast. Didn't use a calculator. So yeah, once you make that profit, $148,000, the government is going to tax you on that. So be prepared for that. If you've lived there 2 years, you don't really have to worry about it unless you've just made like a ton of money on the thing and then it falls into a different category. But that is something to keep in mind because you will be paying that. That will not come out at the closing table, but that'll be something they'll get you with later because we know the government is not going to let you keep any money. They're going to sneak up behind you and take what they think is theirs. So keep that in mind. Now, if you have learned anything from this video, make sure you check out this one right here where I go over which one will make you more money, renting or selling out your house. As always, I'm your Unicorn Real Estate Agent helping you turn your home dreams into reality.